At 4 a.m., you wake up again, mysteriously short on oxygen. Your cat is sitting on your face, purring like a tiny lawnmower with secrets. And yes, it feels a little like a crime. But behavior science says something much stranger is going on. By the end of this video, you'll know why your cat chooses your face, why the butt is usually involved, and one simple way to get your breathing rights back without locking your cat out. To solve this suffocating little mystery, the first thing to understand is a basic mismatch in body design. Humans sleep in a very strange way. They wrap themselves in thick blankets, bury their legs, protect their torso, and then leave the warmest exposed landmark, their head, sticking out into the cold air like the last warm island in the room. Now imagine the world from a cat's heat-seeking map. In a dark bedroom, that uncovered human head is not just a head. It is a glowing campfire in the middle of a frozen field. And cats are extremely interested in that campfire. This goes all the way back to their ancestors, the African wildcats. Cats evolved from animals built for warmer, drier environments. Their internal factory settings are not exactly designed for chilly bedrooms, aggressive air conditioning, and humans who think 73 degrees Fahrenheit is the perfect sleeping temperature. A cat's normal body temperature is around 100 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, which is slightly higher than a human's, and their comfort zone is warmer than what most people consider ideal. So when the room cools down at night, the cat is not thinking, "How can I ruin this person's REM cycle?" It is thinking, in the most ancient biological language possible, there is heat over there. And the human face is not just warm, it also releases a steady stream of warm breath. To a cat, the nose and mouth are basically a tiny organic space heater. That is why the cat may press its belly, chest, or chin against the human's face. The belly is one of the body areas cats instinctively want to keep warm. So from a thermodynamic point of view, this is not an attack. It is energy efficiency. But if warmth were the only reason, one question still remains. Why not sleep against a radiator? Why not curl up beside the human's head? Why choose the one location that blocks the breathing equipment? That brings us to the second layer of the mystery. In the cat's social universe, the human face is one of the busiest scent zones in the entire bed. Humans rely heavily on vision. We recognize people by faces, outfits, hairstyles, and occasionally by the suspicious way someone walks into a Zoom meeting 5 minutes late. Cats do not work that way. For them, scent is one of the most important identity systems in the world. Their cheeks, chin, and the base of their ears contain scent glands that release chemical signals. These signals work almost like private barcodes, helping them mark familiar places, objects, and trusted companions. Many cat owners know the scene. The human is half asleep. The cat climbs onto the pillow, starts purring, and rubs its cheek across the human's nose and mouth like it is carefully relabeling its favorite piece of furniture. That is not just affection. It is more like a feline scent update. When the human is asleep, breathing becomes deep and steady. Each breath carries warmth, moisture, and familiar human scent. By getting close to the mouth and nose, the cat may be both placing its own scent on the human and checking that familiar human smell again. In other words, the cat is not randomly invading personal space. It is refreshing the social bond. Research on cat behavior suggests that familiar scent signals can help make an environment feel safer. When the human's face carries the cat's own familiar scent, that giant sleeping creature becomes easier to classify as safe, known, and part of the inner circle. So the next time you wake up with cat fur in your nostrils, you do not have to love the experience. But scientifically speaking, you may have just received a cross-species family membership card. Still, even this sweet explanation cannot hide one extremely ridiculous physical fact. During this little family certification ceremony, the thing blocking the human's view is often not the cat's face. It is the cat's backside. So why does the cat turn its back toward the human's face? To understand that strange sleeping position, we have to leave the modern bedroom for a moment and return to the world cats were built for. In nature, cats occupy a very awkward position. They are predators, but they are also small enough to become prey. They hunt, but they can also be hunted by larger carnivores, birds of prey, and anything big enough to turn confidence into a medical emergency. That is why a cat's nervous system is always running a background security program. Even when the room looks peaceful, the cat's brain is quietly monitoring sounds, movement, shadows, doors, windows, and the cursed machine humans call a vacuum cleaner. For a cat, the back is a major blind spot. In the wild, turning one's back on another animal is not casual. It means giving up visual control of the most vulnerable direction. So imagine the cat sitting on the human's face like a tiny sphinx. Its back is toward the human. Its ears are pointed toward the dark bedroom. Its body is still, but the radar system is active. If the robot vacuum makes one tiny beep from the hallway, loaf mode can disappear in half a second. When the cat sits facing away, it may be doing something deeply social. It is watching the outside world while trusting the human with its blind spot. A simpler way to put it is this. The cat is saying, I will watch the perimeter. You cover my back. In the ancient survival language of a small predator, that is not an insult. It is trust. To the cat, the human is less like furniture and more like a living fortress. A warm, breathing, oddly shaped fortress that sometimes orders Amazon boxes and forgets where the scissors are. When the cat gives the human its back, it is offering one of the oldest signs of confidence an animal can give. And that makes the whole situation strangely beautiful. Also, still very hard to breathe through. This may be a touching act of interspecies trust, but at 4 a.m., the fortress still needs oxygen. The human also has to wake up, go to work, and earn the money that eventually becomes cat food, litter, toys, and that expensive bed the cat will absolutely ignore. So how can the human respectfully reclaim the right to breathe? The first rule is simple. Do not wake up and shove the cat away like a sandbag. To the cat, that sudden movement can feel confusing or unpleasant. Over time, it may connect this close sleeping behavior with discomfort. And the goal is not to reject the cat. The goal is to relocate the cat's mission. The smarter strategy is sensory relocation. If the cat's main needs are warmth, scent, and closeness, the human can create a better target nearby. Before going to bed, place a gently warmed, pet-safe heating pad above the pillow or near the top of the bed, close to the human's head but not on the face. Then add the most important ingredient, a t-shirt the human wore that day, preferably one that has not been washed yet. Yes, to humans this may sound slightly disgusting. To a cat, it is premium emotional real estate. The heating pad provides the stable warmth. The worn shirt provides the familiar scent anchor. Together they create a substitute sleeping station that still feels close, safe, and socially meaningful. The trick is to make the new spot win by a tiny margin. Same warmth, same human smell, same feeling of closeness, just far enough away that the human can keep using the nose for its original purpose. The cat still gets warmth. It still gets the human's scent. It still gets to sleep near its trusted creature. But the human gets something equally important, airflow. This is not rejection. This is diplomacy. And in the long history of human-cat negotiations, that may be the closest thing to a peace treaty anyone is ever going to get. That 10-pound weight on your face can be annoying. The fur on your lips is not exactly a spa treatment, but behind the absurdity is something tender. Warmth, scent, safety, and trust. For a small predator, full relaxation is not easy, but somehow your warm, sleepy, slightly inconvenient face makes the list.